Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to a Hump Day edition of What's for Lunch. I'm your host, Larry Hers, and today in studio I have Dave from Mac N Noodles. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Larry. I appreciate it.
So I kind of stalked him for about a year till he got him on the show because I had his Buffalo Mac and Cheese at Lone Tree Brewing. And he's a food truck, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? How is this guy so good? So he's here now. Give us a little history of you and Mac N Noodles.
Yeah, so I'm from Iowa. I grew up at watching my uncles in the restaurant industry, and I thought it always looked like fun. But then I realized I watched them 10 years into it rather than just starting, and so it's way more work just starting than I ever pictured it to be. And so I always wanted to get into owning my restaurant, but I couldn't get a franchise of anywhere being fresh out of college, and so I just didn't have the money. So the only thing I could do was try and figure out what would start myself. So kind of came across mac and cheese. Thought, if Chipotle could make a burrito out of a Mexican restaurant and make that into a concept, why couldn't someone take mac and cheese and turn that into an American concept? And that's kind of how I justified it. And here we are 5 years later, still going. We got 2 trucks now and just trying to make the most out of it.
So where'd you learn how to make? You started, I assume, like everybody in college with Kraft mac and cheese and worked your way up?
Truthfully, I never liked mac and cheese growing up.
Oh?
It was my brother's favorite food. And I thought it was catchy, and so then I looked at Google and I just went through like 20 different recipes and gave my roommates at the time more mac and cheese, and they're like, we can only test it once a week now because I was feeding them so much mac and cheese. I came up with a cheese sauce that I really liked. I thought it was good. They kind of got it, they liked it, and I was like, okay, this is going to be our cheese sauce. Let's make a mac and cheese and just kind of, go with it. And so I've become a big mac and cheese fan. I wasn't before, but now it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a blank slate, kind of like a pizza.
What is there a secret to your cheese sauce?
No, not really. It's 4 different style of cheeses, and then we top it with a 5th cheese, just for a different topping on top.
What are the 4 cheeses?
So it's cheddar, provolone, parmesan, and mozzarella.
Oh, I guess.
So we do those cheeses. We kind of make it, and then we start with a bechamel roux, and that's how it goes. And it just it kind of works for us. It makes it simple, and we just enjoy it. So it's
one thing we definitely have to talk about, which I'm going to show them on the close-up camera, is your noodle. Let's get a couple of them. So you guys see that? Is that good right there, Josh? That's what I was like. What the heck is this noodle? Where did he get this noodle? I've never seen this before. What is it?
So
does it have a name?
It's called Trottole is the style. When we first started, we started with a elbow noodle, but I just felt it kind of looked cheap, and anyone could do that at home. Whereas the Trottole you couldn't find at the time. It's now actually in the private selection at King Soopers, so you can get it. I think they sell it by the pound. It's like, it's a more expensive noodle, but it's something that could really make us different and something I hadn't seen before. And so, we just ran with it and we tried to make it our own and be different.
It just, I don't know. To me, there's no other noodle to use for mac and cheese anymore.
No, it's, and then you got the little rims on there, so, it holds the cheese in and it gets buried in. And it's sturdier too, so it's a very hard noodle to overboil.
Let's run through what you brought today. I'm going to put one at a time here on the close-up.
So that's our classic mac and cheese. It's just our cheddar cheese sauce. Then we do a toasted panko on top with, we either use shredded Parmesan like we have today, or we do a shredded provolone mozzarella blend. And so that's just, that's our knockoff of classic or Kraft mac and cheese. It's our basic. It's just heavy on cheese sauce.
Knock off of Kraft. Kraft would love to knock you off. Kraft is nasty. This is bomb. This is what I fell in love with.
So that one is our buffalo chicken mac and cheese. We start with our standard cheese sauce, and we saute the chicken and the buffalo sauce together with the cheese sauce, toss in the noodles, and then we top it with panko and gorgonzola blue cheese and green onions.
It's not that complicated, but people screw this up all the time. This is, I was in the restaurant business 29 years. If I was going to make a buffalo mac and cheese, this is exactly what I'd put on it.
I say the hard thing is a lot of people put too much buffalo sauce or not enough buffalo sauce. And so, when we found out our portion, what we like is 2 ounces of buffalo sauce per 20-ounce container. And I think, it gives a little spice, but it doesn't take away from the cheese.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
At that point, you got I was at a cheese convention. I learned about the gorgonzola blue cheese. So instead of using a dry, powdery blue cheese, he was like, if you just use the gorgonzola. And so that's when, it's been a culmination of a lot of people's ideas. I say we don't have any pride in this. We have pride, but I don't have the ego. That's what I'm saying. I don't have an ego. If someone can show me a better way, if someone can teach me, I'll switch tomorrow. You know, as long as the product's good, it's something we can be proud of. And that was the Gorgonzola blue cheese we learned about.
Okay.
So
What's this guy?
that one is our bacon cheeseburger mac and cheese. So we use a chorizo because we found out hamburger doesn't have much of a flavor in the cheese sauce. It really mellows it out. So
Okay.
the cheese sauce kind of mellows down the chorizo. Then we put bacon, pickles, tomatoes.
Pickles.
There are pickles in there. We dice them. We get a nice kosher dill pickle, topped with panko, breadcrumbs, and then more shredded cheese and green onions on top. So there's not a ton of pickles. There's 1 ounce per serving, but it's just it's a nice surprise. And when people talk about what they remember about it, it's the pickles that make the difference. Because you know there weren't a ton of people that put pickles in mac and cheese when we first started 5 years ago.
Why does anybody do it now? I still have never seen it.
I don't know if anyone does. You know, I try and I know what we do. I like what we do, and I'm just trying to be true to us.
I'm intrigued by that. I might have to have that for lunch today.
So that one right there is our barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese. So we recently started running a Colorado pig rig truck, and so we make our own barbecue sauce. It's the base is like an apple cider vinegar, and then we use our own pulled pork that we make. And so it's got barbecue sauce. We kind of saute it in the pulled pork a little. Then we add the cheese sauce to get the nice little flavor throughout. And then we toss in the noodles, top it with panko, crispy fried onions, and green onions as well.
All right, pass me that guy. I don't know what that one is.
So that one is actually my personal favorite.
Okay.
That one's going to be our Carnitas Mac and Cheese.
Okay.
So we have a slow roasted carnitas we do overnight. We add it, and then we saute the carnitas meat with the Roma tomatoes, and then we also do a green chili. So it's with their Bueno is the brand, and they make a really nice fire roasted diced green chili. And so we throw in an ounce of green chili in there, saute it up with the meat, the tomatoes, toss in the cheese sauce, put it in a dish, top it with panko, green onions, and more shredded cheese on top.
Looks like you've become kind of a chef, haven't you?
You know, I've learned a lot from someone who had no culinary experience.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can learn something from everybody, no matter how much they know or don't. And we started toasting the panko, I'd say 2 years ago when we had this new guy come on, and it elevated it. Before I had this chef who was, I've been very fortunate with who I've met. He was a high-end chef in the Hamptons, and when we first knew, we were struggling with my elbow noodles, and and then we learned about the trottole, and then he kind of showed me how to you eat with your eyes before you eat with your stomach. So if you can make, the product is good, and so if you can, make it look nice and make it appeal to everyone, then you're automatically a step up when they're trying it.
Now that we've teased everybody, now you have to tell them where they can find your mac and cheese.
So the best way to find us is on our website, macandnoodles.com. We try and make events on Facebook, but honestly, we need some work on that one. So our website, macandnoodles.com, we have a Mac tracker. It's a little tab at the top, and in is our calendar. And so we have 2 different trucks going around town. We pretty much stay Broomfield to Castle Rock, and we'll actually be at Lone Tree Brewing this Saturday with Michael Webster and their team down there. They have a little market going on that they're throwing, and so we're the food truck for the day. So we'll be there from 12 to 6 on Saturday.
And if people want to eat right now for lunch today, do you know where your 2 trucks are today? Right now?
The one, I made a mistake, so we're not actually in Castle Rock, but the other one is at Aurora Marketplace.
Okay.
So right off of Dartmouth and Havana in Aurora. So 11, it's from there from 11 to 1:30 today. We're not out tonight, but then we do go out tomorrow. I just don't know where those are off the top of my head.
So right now, you can go get this food in Aurora.
Yep, at Aurora Marketplace on the corner of Dartmouth and Havana.
Can't beat that. Anything else before we go?
No, we just hope everyone enjoys it. We hope, you guys come find us, and we're just trying to do our best. And if you have any flavors that you do want us to create, we're happy to do it. Just put it through our website. That's how we came up with the green chili. And some of these flavors were special requests that are now fan favorites.
I have to go for this one with the pickles. What do you call this one?
That's
Bacon
a
cheeseburger?
bacon cheeseburger mac and cheese.
Brilliant. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
If you've never had his food, I'm telling you, I'm a snob. I told him when he came in, like, this is bomb mac and cheese. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of What's for Lunch. Let's eat. Yeah.
You taste a little pickle in there.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, I call it dumb luck. That's how we came up with it, and I think it, when people say, hey, I don't like the pickle, I say, well, just don't get that one, because it's a pickle that makes it to me. Try anything else.
When I booked you to come on, I'm like, when he comes on, I'm having a buffalo mac and cheese. But no, I'm having the bacon cheeseburger.